I am back with another vlog of my sign language class experience, semester 2, week 16. Yes, last week was technically sort of a tutorial, second semester, but it wasn't really mandatory, it's still, it's optional. Just like yesterday. Yesterday was also optional, and we sort of went through descriptors one more time, hair, short hair, long hair, mustache, things like that. But we had a really fun time with it. What we did was that we listed all these classic actors: Debbie Reynolds, God bless her soul, God rest her soul, Judy Garland, Charlie Chaplin, Carol Burnett. We listed all these classic actors, and we pretty much described them without using any words verbally. We just signed them out. Like for me, I described Charlie Chaplin using signs. And so I went black hair, mustache, sort of shaped like this. And at the moment I did this, everyone said, Charlie Chaplin. And I'm just like, yep. Because he was the first notable person to have this kind of mustache. Fortunately, not a lot of people consider that mustache to be the Charlie Chaplin mustache, unfortunately. But that's another story for another video. Let's talk about nicer things like sign language. Yes. So that was one that I did. I also did a couple other figures. We also had characters up there. We mostly just had Cousin It from the Addams Family and Punky Brewster. So I did Punky Brewster, and I did another one. What was the other one that I did? One of my very good friends, who's also a person in the class, she did Julia Roberts, and I automatically said Julia Roberts when she talked about, the curly hair. I think it was her. It was her, yeah. So that was a lot of fun. And my teacher's one of those people who says, she has a saying, God uses every hurt. And so she'll every now and then, in class, she'll tell us stories about how sign language has really benefited, people that she knows and even herself in ways. And they're very lovely stories. And something that she told us yesterday was that out of all the classes that she's ever had, this is one of those few where she was able to have a second semester, which is great. But she says so many great things about my class. It's not just me. It's me, several moms, a couple of older women, and in fact, we only have one guy in the class, and he's a really, really nice guy, really nice, cool guy who drives a motorcycle. Really cool. But she says so many nice things about her class. And we talked about how for the midterm last semester, we only had to sign for like a minute. And back then, we thought a minute was so long. Not really. When you're actually up there performing your signs, the time just flies by. And I think the same reason why that is for the same reason why whenever you play games or you're having fun, time can go by just really, really quickly. Because you're not really thinking about the time. You're thinking about how fun it is and how much fun you're doing or how busy you are. Time has a funny way of working like that. So I find it very interesting how something that seems really difficult and seems really hard, like, I can't do a minute of ASL. I can't do 3 to 5 minutes. Well, it happened. I did it. My classmates did it. My sign language teacher has done it not just for like 3 to 5 minutes. She's done it for like 40 minutes, an hour, longer than that for her interpretation jobs, because she is an official interpreter. If you look at sign language and think there's no way I can do that, don't think that way. I think you can do it. That's why I just love my textbook so much. ASL in 24 hours. It's so useful, and something that's been a really good for me and my classmates is that we learn letters and numbers first. We learn how to finger spell first. That's what I recommend. Learn how to finger spell first. ASL, learn how to do this first. And then after that, go into words. Because if all else fails, you can still have finger spelling to go back on. I wouldn't recommend knowing how to do finger spelling and nothing else. You know, the Rochester Method, finger spelling everything. Don't just do the Rochester Method. Don't just spell out everything. Don't. Learn signs like this with both hands is shampoo. This with both hands is mustache. You know, this is brown. This is black. This is forget. You know, learn individual signs with your hands, or you learn signs that require both hands, like shampoo and mustache, for instance. Don't just resort to one kind of sign language. You know, there's so much to learn, and a rule that I like living by is never stop learning. Never stop learning. Never do it. Always learn. You know, it helps with your brain cells, it helps with your thinking, it helps you get a very good grasp on what's going on around you, of the real world. And we do need to know about those things. And it's important to know about those things. So, yeah, that's just something that I've been learning about myself as I've been going through these classes. If you have any questions about ASL, you know, feel free to do research or ask me if you want. You know, you can. I mean, I'm learning too, so I might not be the best person. But, and there's no harm in asking. No harm in asking. So that's sort of my thoughts for this week. You know, the first week of February is when we actually get back into learning more signs and actually continuing the book and hopefully finishing the book before the semester is out. But for now, for this week and next week, just tutorials. I actually told my instructor and her daughter, who helps out a bit, about these videos, and I haven't really been giving much personal information out, you know, their personal information, you know, just wanted to make that clear. And they seem to be okay with it, they're okay with it, and I'm glad, and I can't wait to tell you more about what I learn and see, and I'll talk to you next week. Take care.